Yeah, hey Adam. I think we were texting yesterday about Fernet. You're listed over there on Fernet. Um,
Yeah, are you from London Bridges? Is that what it was called?
yeah, yeah. My name's Matt. Um, what? So I'm sorry. I honestly do a ton of prospecting every day, so I forget where we left off. Is it tenant occupied or vacant?
No, it's vacant now.
Oh, that's good. So it was a rental.
Yeah, it was. It was the client's grandfather's house,
Mm-hmm.
and then he bought it out of the estate, and then turned it into a rental.
And then he doesn't want to be a landlord anymore.
No, he's looking to. He wants to get rid of it, move on.
Makes sense. Um, okay. Well.
Before you before you go too far,
Uh huh.
he is really hoping to try to get as close to that asking price as possible.
Okay.
And I've had I kind of lost track, but I had like 16 or 17 sort of like property acquisitions, and I'm not hating on the game. I'm just trying to cut maybe some of your digging and stuff down to a minimum, so you
Right.
don't have to worry too much about justifying your offer. Which I understand. There's two numbers on that house. There's sort of a retail number, and then there's a wholesale number.
Yep.
Maybe not a wholesale number, but an investment number. So
Sure. Sure.
just trying to save a little bit of time there.
Understood. What condition is the property in regards to the big ticket items like the roof, water heater, air, furnace, AC, that kind of stuff? Do you have any idea?
Yeah, so it's all working. Everything works fine, but it would just be a matter of like preference. So if you wanted to make all that stuff brand new, you could. But I think the stuff is like 10 years plus at least. I'm not sure on the roof, but everything is in working order, manageable.
Great.
It's not a decrepit property.
Right.
It sort of has if it was a rental, there'd be no issues with the situation in the upstairs bathroom being, if you look at some of the pictures, it's kind of like a cape roof style, so it kind of cuts in, but it has a fully functional shower, toilet, the whole thing.
Great.
I think the house is sort of a turnkey, ready to go, but it's just a matter of making the right person
Right.
see it that way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's what kind of attracted me to your listing. One question about the windows: are they original windows or are they newer, a little bit more
Uh,
weatherproof?
yeah, I don't think they're newer, but I'm almost certain they're not original to the house.
Okay. All right.
I
Well.
think they were replacements in the 70s or 80s, though.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right. Well, I'm not a wholesaler, so yeah, good news there. I'm not gonna lowball you. Although I get it because if I was gonna make a cash offer, it would probably be less than 75. So, but what I do is I buy and hold. I'm based out of Los Angeles, and I rent out Section 8. So, unfortunately, it's only a
Sure.
2 bedroom, and Section 8 only pays per bedroom. So it is
Right.
it is pretty pricey for a 2 bedroom, but regardless, if I was able to offer your client list price of 99.9 and pay your commission, would they take it in terms?
So you're talking, when you say in terms, is that a fancy way of saying seller financing?
It is a fancy way, yep, and a lot of
Yeah.
people don't even get that, but you did.
Yeah, it's just that, listen, I take so many of these calls, and I try to do my best to be respectful of the process that
Yeah,
you've got implemented, and at the same time, I'm trying to honor the amount of time and effort that it goes into, disguising that 199 down, 199 a month lease is not exactly 199 a month lease, just basic terms. So I'm not sure if he won't or will take seller financing,
uh-huh.
but I most certainly can approach that with him.
Okay, that's all I can ask. What I would what I would do and what I typically do is I'm just going to send you, I'll text it to you. It'll be simple. I'll just text you an offer of some basic terms of numbers that would work for me. Because again, all I do is base it on what HUD is going to pay me for a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house because they publish it, and run the numbers, look at the property taxes, and if I can cash flow from day one, then I don't really care what you're asking for, because for me, I'm holding it. I'm not a wholesaler. I'm not trying to flip it and make a profit real quick. I'm in it for the long game, if that makes sense. So I'm able to offer your price,
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. Where do you lay in with your effort? Where do you lay in with your labor, like contracting people in for repairs? Where do you lay in for that?
That's a great question.
Your cash flow, if it's positive, obviously it's positive is the name of the game. But at what point be not enough, or 100 not enough?
Okay, those are all very good questions. And so that's why I look for a turnkey property, because I'm trying to mitigate my risk with repairs. And that's why I'm asking you, how's the roof? How are the windows? Because, if I go in, and if I can get in with 3 to 5K of rehab or less, then it's a deal. Because typically every property is going to need a coat of paint, maybe some carpet, something's going to need to be fixed. And so, because I have to pass Section 8 inspection. So I can't just rent it out. I have to pass an actual inspection before I can qualify. So I ask those questions first. Then I calculate 10% for CapEx, just for repair and maintenance, which quite frankly isn't much. 10% is probably going to be less than $100 a month. And I calculate 10% for a property manager. I calculate the PITI. And if I can cash flow $200 or more, then it's a deal. If it's less than 200, like you were saying, it's kind of cutting it a little close, because if something happens and I need to dip into my cash flow for R&M, then I'm underwater. And just one of those little,
What do you say? What do you mean by PIT?
Principal, interest, tax, insurance. So the payment to your seller, and then taxes and insurance, because even in a seller finance deal, I legally own it. I'm responsible for everything, and I also insist on signing a deed in lieu, meaning I'm forfeiting my right to a foreclosure. So if anything was to happen and I was abducted by aliens and disappeared off the face of the earth, if I went 30 days with non-payment, the house would automatically get deeded back to your client. He could turn around, call you, you could sell it. He would keep every dime that I had paid him, and he would just turn around and sell it again. And so there's virtually no risk for him, and I try to structure the deal that way so they feel as comfortable with the deal as possible. And
then the realtors, are they not that receptive based on closing then? I mean, obviously, like a commission structure.
So if they have no idea what they're doing, they are completely unreceptive to it and typically won't even present the offer. But you have realtors that have been doing this a long time, and they have started to get a lot of these offers, especially now with rising interest rates. And a lot of their clients are investors themselves, so they already know what it is. I call a lot of these properties, especially in Akron, it's crazy. There's not only a lot of out-of-state investors like me, but a lot of out-of-country investors. And so a lot of these guys are very savvy to these types of deals. But look, only about 1% of agents in this country are actually worth anything. Unfortunately, like no offense to you. I mean, you do seem to get it.
I get it.
you are very, and so I always say an agent can be my best friend or my worst enemy. They can help close the deal, or they can completely block it off before it even gets to the starting line. And I think that's a shame, because honestly, 9.9 times out of 10, I am offering full list price, and I'm offering to pay their commission. And as you obviously know, you don't get paid a dime until this deal closes. So I don't really understand why I would get any pushback from an agent, because even like you just said, you've been answering so many calls about this house, and it's a giant waste of your time to just repeat yourself over and over and over. So, I'm offering you full list price. I'm offering to pay your commission. I can close in 2 weeks. If you have a better deal than that on the table, your client should absolutely take it.
Yeah, got it.
So what I'm going to do...
Well, yeah, if you want to send something over, it's Adam Coleman, Coleman, Realtor @gmail.com.
Adam Coleman, Realtor. No spaces or anything like that, or hyphens?
No, it's
All right.
Adam Coleman, Realtor @gmail.
All right. I'm going to send something to you in the next 10 minutes. Sound good?
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it, Adam. Take care.